This high protein beef chili is perfect for meal prep. It tastes good, it's filling, and easy to make. If you don't already know, I love simple one-pot recipes, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. All it takes is a little bit of preparation, combine the ingredients, set it, and forget it. Now I did something a little different for this recipe. I took out the beans you would find in a traditional chili recipe and replaced them with potatoes, so you're still going to get a balanced meal with carbohydrates, fats, and protein. Start off by cutting an onion. We're only going to be using half of it for this recipe, so place the other half in your fridge and save it for a rainy day. We'll then need to cube up 2 pounds of potatoes. You can peel them if you want, but that was too much work for me. Just make sure that you cut them into bite-sized pieces for the chili because we are eating this with a spoon. Then set your stovetop to medium heat and combine 2 teaspoons of garlic with the onions. While that's cooking, combine 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt to taste. And once the onions are slightly translucent, you can add the meat. I'm using 2 pounds of 90% ground beef. I find this is a good balance for me. You can find a leaner version of course, but I feel like you need some fat to enhance the flavor. You can then add the spices we just made to the pot and give it a good stir. When it comes to the beef broth, the amount will really depend on what you prefer. For a thicker chili, I recommend using 1.5 cups, but I'm using 2 cups in this recipe. Just know that it will thicken up a little. This clip is showing you what the chili looks like after 24 hours in the fridge. When the ground beef is mostly cooked, go ahead and add the broth, 1 can of tomato sauce, and 1 can of diced tomatoes. Then add the last ingredient for this recipe, that is the potatoes. Adjust your stovetop to medium-low and let the chili simmer for about 30 minutes or until the potatoes are fully cooked. Now this is a lot of volume, so it might take longer than that. If you're not sure when the chili is done, take out one of the potatoes and see if you can easily cut it in half with a fork. Having raw potatoes in your chili can really ruin the recipe, so just make sure they are fully cooked to your liking. Once the chili is finished, all that's left to do is divide the batch into 5 equally sized portions. There's also a bunch of different options when it comes to toppings. I threw on a few jalapenos, but you could also try cilantro, scallions, sour cream, Greek yogurt, or shredded cheese. Just remember to factor these things in if you're someone who tracks their macros. Speaking of macros, 1 serving of this chili has 538 calories, 51 grams of carbs, 18 grams of fat, and 43 grams of protein. Now, these can vary a bit depending on the exact brand of ingredients you use, but they should stay consistent, that is, unless you're using something totally different like a very fatty ground beef. Now, this chili will stay fresh in your refrigerator for up to 4 days. I know people who eat 5-day-old beef or chicken, but that's really not for me. But there are 5 servings here, so I guess you could always freeze one of them and eat it at a later date. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel for more macro-friendly recipes. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.